Hello everybody, welcome. So, this video is unlike some of the other ones that I have done in the past. It's not really a tour of something that I've built in a while, nor is it something I want to give a tour to that is really finished or justifies video editing, so I thought live stream was the best way to do that. So, there are a couple of people who are waiting on me to start this up, so I'm just gonna wait here for a couple of minutes until folks show up, and then we'll get on our way. So, if you're watching this after the fact, after the live stream, skip ahead a little bit, won't be long. Hey Z, how's it going, man? I was just waiting a couple minutes for you and G4 if he was going to show up to join. So I'm outside my castle. This is a build that I made somewhere between the DLC, I think Contraptions Workshop came out, and the Vault-Tec DLC came out. Because I haven't touched this, I don't think, since just after Vault-Tec came out. So I like it for what it is, for being, I think it's completely DLC with no mods or like very, very few mods. And for what it is, I like it a lot. Especially since that was a long time ago. So I wanted to give it some airtime before I scrap everything and then start again. So one of the things I was pretty proud of was this, the battlements up front. Especially before I had place everywhere, without which I probably would have quit the game a whole long time ago. Getting this stuff lined up correctly and snapping in place was a Herculean feat. So it's a couple of concrete foundations, and then up there are guard posts, topped off with some warehouse portions. And, oh right, getting ahead of myself. Fancy little turret thing. I found out the hard way, you want to keep the missile ones in the front, or else they blow everything up in front of them. It was never meant to be the final solution in defense, but it actually worked pretty well, elevating the turrets so that they were harder to hit for enemies, and got to see it in practice a couple times. It looks, you know, like a World War-ish bunker type unit. So, let's go inside. I honestly have no idea what we're going to see in here because it's been a long time. Nothing. I think I used to have like traps rigged up in here, and I could never get them to work the way that they should. So right inside the gatehouse is the interior little garrison for Mr. Garvey. This one was challenging to build because of this little bit of height, like the stairs, kind of clumsily placed there. Not everything's fully decorated. That's not Preston Garvey, that's just him made out of wood. But this is where he would rest his pretty little mission sending butt and manage population of the castle. Let's check out these battlements while we're up here. You are naked. I think. So this is embarrassing, not for me, but for these guys. So I used to have a Minuteman overhaul mod installed, and I don't think I have it anymore. And it's a thing that replaced all their outfits with all the default vanilla Minutemen outfits with ones that are nice and like royal blue and looking actual military-ish. So now the castle is guarded by nudists. Apologies to your eyes and your Puritan sensibilities. None of them are even at their guard posts. You're just grabbing your crotch in front of the fire barrel, I guess, to keep them warm, since I removed all your clothes accidentally. Sorry, dude. Well, this is what happens when you live stream instead of doing some preparation. Hey Barry, sorry, didn't mean to ignore you. So yeah, battlements, they're pretty decent. Some supplies underneath the roof. It was meant to be like ammo and whatnot. It would be much more pretty looking had I built this with mods. But I was going for the challenge of what can I build and how badass can I make it look with no mods. There you'll see the generators that power the whole place. Momentarily. I don't know what the power usage on each of those is, probably a couple dozen. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 turrets. Probably like 12 power usage, unless I'm forgetting math or how much those take in terms of power. I'm actually going to go back down this way and come up another way. My original intent was to have this courtyard kind of full up of buildings and not scrappy shacks, but useful things. Training yard in one place, maybe a graveyard in another, but alas, did not happen. So this is yeah, after Contraptions came out, we got the blessing of concrete, and when you have no mods but you do have concrete, you can restore your castle wall. So that was, back in the day, super exciting. So I hollowed out this section of the wall and just use it as a power room for these generators. A bit of a lookout, and my goal in putting the generators here was to have them somewhat obfuscated from, I guess, enemies would come through the gatehouse there. And I didn't want them to easily be able to, you know, if I was elsewhere and had the alert that the castle was under attack, by the time I got there I didn't want them to have already been able to easily get to my generators and destroy them. So, get them in here. I stand corrected, Wasteland Workshop. I can't keep track of what is what in terms of those things, nor do I really care. But thanks for correcting me on that one. Wasteland Workshop. Flickering textures. Oh, I don't miss you. I did not have place everywhere when I made this first. So this building here is... No, don't go down the stairs, you bloody idiot. Barracks, essentially. I was looking... Would you... Do I not have a railing there? You're fired. Castle wall. Anyway, this is barracks. I was looking to make kind of a garrison on the wall itself, as opposed to building a whole building somewhere in the courtyard, taking a whole bunch of space with a whole bunch of beds. So, welcome to the Octagon, with repetitive, ugly sets of beds and lockers. But when you have no mods, that's what you can manage, and it looks good for what it is. You can't see me, but I'm cringing right now. Anyway, so this holds a fair number of Minutemen. A little overlook here. I used to have some turrets up here as well. I think they must have been missile turrets, because they're not here anymore. They probably shot missiles into the railing instead of into super mutants. Super helpful, automated turrets. So and then up here, some more battlements. Little bed in case the nudist guard up here gets weary and or wants some more padding, in which case sleeping bag. Anyway, basic munitions, a couple of guard towers, or guard posts, and that's all there is to see. This was not a completely finished thing for what I was building at the time, but it was getting there, at least structurally. Never really finished the walls and the battlements on top of the walls, with the exception of filling that gap there. And this just looks all sorts of inappropriate. It's a dude with
One day, we'll put this back together, better than ever.
Preston? Preston? That's not Preston. Did I just hear his voice? Like, that's not him either. One day we'll put this back together better than ever, he says, with no body present, while a man with no clothes on has a really big piece of artillery. This is not a family-friendly channel. You dropped your balls, dude.
This is delicious.
Okay, I'm not even gonna touch that one with a 10-foot pole. You know what? I'm gonna jump off this wall, because that is inappropriate. Inappropriate Minutemen. Anyway, same deal out here. Some turrets, although less of them, because nobody ever attacks from, you know, this direction that makes far more sense to attack from, because you're not funneled through a really narrow kill zone land bridge. But I digress. And given that nobody really comes through here, I didn't bother making these gates super grandiose. My plans for this were to basically make what do you call them? Murder holes? This is supposed to be a kill zone where I probably would have replaced these with the electronic door and set it to close right behind an enemy, so that this door also would close, and then they would be subject to whatever mayhem might come through these windows at them. Knowing what I know now, that would take me all of like an hour to set up, but I'm lazy, so you get to use your imagination. We're in Imagination Land. Sorry. Apparently, the Minutemen were just going to throw general goods down at the intruders, but let's check out what the other one is full of. Is it weapons? Because if it's weapons, they could just... No. Say you could throw a gun at them, and that might actually hurt them instead of tomatoes or whatnot. Nope, those are just going to be stores. No, I would not have kept those stores, that's stupid. I was working on making something fancy for the Minutemen. Oh my god, this is so old. I'm not embarrassed, this is good for what it is. I'm not embarrassed, this is good for what it is. I'm not embarrassed. This, some of you who've checked out my live streams from Sanctuary a long time ago might recognize this sort of style of build that I was doing, the angled sort of modern architecture. This is what do you call it? Liquors. This is the Minuteman bar, and holy shit, everything in here is physics enabled and placed by hand, and this took an entire day. What are you doing on the floor, buddy? No, gun away. Just kidding. Not gonna shoot your junk, dude. Sorry, I sometimes forget what buttons things are configured to when I turned off the HUD. Anyway, bartender, somewhat Western themed, for no particular reason. This is kind of a challenging build, just in terms of the walls, getting them to snap in place, again, without place anywhere, or place everywhere, for that matter. So, there's a couple places for people to sit and chill, and what the hell are you Minutemen? You are messing this whole place up. Just kidding. This probably wasn't that one, probably was a game. Anyway, up here, second little wet bar, some undecorated shelves, because some people didn't have do-it-yourself. Hey G4, are you just now joining us? Sorry for the wait in setting this up. I had to do some configuration stuff. So I'll go back over everything at the end just to catch you up a little bit, but right now we are in the bar, the Minuteman bar in the middle of the courtyard of the castle. And what is going on with this flag, buddy? Half of this flag is wet. Alright, just roll with it. Hey Lewis, welcome to the channel. So this is an old build. I have a static loop mod, and I have a place everywhere which I can turn off the object physics for anything. This is just old remnants of stuff that I placed down manually before I had those mods installed, and I haven't come back to clean them up or decorate things better. So, anyway, the problem is solved. I just haven't tended to this build in ages. Ages and ages. It's been, I think, almost a year, in fact. So, this is my fancy bar. It's fancy windows. I really liked this build style when I was working on it and the other buildings from Sanctuary. What? Oh, we haven't gone over there yet. Is that big thing over there? I enclosed my workshop for no particular reason. I think I was going to do something with it, and I don't remember what it was. Probably make those things not clip together, if I had to guess. God, I'm an idiot. This, however, is, I think, it's one of the first buildings I made here, and it was a solution for how to avoid, thanks Lewis, how to avoid, what am I trying to say? Building crops all over the turf walls of the top of the battlements. I hated that there were crops just like in the open air amidst castle defenses. That made no sense. So I wanted to build a big old greenhouse and have it look good. So it is what it looks like from the outside. Kind of like an imposing thing. Unless you have a hammer. Because it's made out of glass. Mostly what they grow in here is just corn. Because they need to make booze. And everything I placed in here... Oh, the mop is still standing in spite of object physics. That is a miracle. So yeah, nothing fancy as far as like raised beds or tables with planters on them, because again, no mods. And I wasn't aiming for that much creativity when I was building this. There's a couple more potted plants up here, and that's and some more corn. You can't forget the corn. That's about it. That's all there is. This is mostly just kind of a, what do you call it? Botanical gardens sort of structure. Arboretum. Arboretum. That's the word. Little place to gather and enjoy the honestly kind of awesome view. I think when I was originally building this, I also had kind of a depot built up here for supplies with stairs that went into the top of the bar. And it just, did the nudist just jump off the wall? Did you guys hear that? You just jumped off the wall. You naked Minuteman. Yeah. Enjoy the Mirelurks from up here. Chilly tonight, isn't it? I'm sorry. Yeah, still inappropriate. Can't get over how all of my Minutemen are naked. Okay. What? Okay, some of you are... No, you're not dressed. You're just armored and naked. With the exception of you. You have pants on! You're getting a promotion, buddy. And you're the radio dude. I can't even change what you wear, so...
Remind them what it's all about.
I don't know why they're all in here. Assuming since the fridge is empty that they drank everything, and oh good, Preston's not naked, so I'll be able to sleep free, mostly free of nightmares. Wait, where's Ronnie Shaw? We'll go find the armory later.
A good reminder of what we're fighting for. This is delicious.
Yeah, naked Minutemen saying this is delicious. I can't. This is a 10% done armor shop. You can tell how done this is. I think this is the last thing that I built, since this was... I haven't touched this since just after the Vault-Tec DLC, I was trying to figure out how to make separate rooms that didn't look awful and were moderately secure from entry and whatnot, within all of these little cubby holes under the castle walls. I think this was supposed to be like prison cells. Maybe that's over there. But no, you just have extremely secure Vault-Tec secured bathrooms, because that makes sense. You notice the male restroom is full of hazardous material, which you know is true if you've ever used any public bathroom. Oh, look, I did use a mod, like one mod. I think this is just after I installed mods and I was toying around with this. I haven't really done anything with the council room, other than I was going to turn it into apparently some sort of founding father stuffy old white man museum. Except for this guy, he doesn't need to be lit because he's probably the stuffiest of dudes. Just wanted to open that and close that because I love that sound. Slightly more finished, less unfinished weapons shop with currently 0 weapons in it. Few bullets. Place to make weapons and modify weapons. No actual weapons. This is what they call false advertising. Right, I think last time I touched this up, I had scrapped all of the previous rooms and stores in the entire settlement and was making new ones. And then I got bored and quit the game, or inspired by other things and other builds. And the castle is one of those big and daunting, by which I mean the perspective of finishing it, daunting settlement locations to build at. So, don't blame me, almost all of my settlement builds are unfinished. A little bit of workout. Used to be a pommel horse here before I realized I don't need Minutemen who can breakdance. That's not going to help me fight super mutants. And also, slightly unrealistic. Like, who 200 years in the future teaches people how to breakdance on a pommel horse? What the... Never mind, I'm sorry, I'm digressing. Minutemen quarters. For those, I don't know, officers or people who are not up in the garrison up on the wall. This is the Christmas room? I don't know. Like I installed a mod and got excited that it... No, this is Vault-Tec. Vault-Tec has this. Just kidding. This is the junk mortar, where we put all of the naked Minutemen and launch them into the ocean. We just haven't gotten that far yet. So, I'm gonna circle back around to places we've already been. So, G4... This is the gatehouse, interior of the gatehouse. This is Preston Garvey's quarters from which he can observe the interior of the castle and get some shut-eye and manage settlers and or Minutemen. This is super challenging with no mods, um, just because of these. First of all, placing everything, getting it to snap, but these roof pieces, plus needing stairs without encroaching on this little section of room. It's actually really tight quarters. These are the battlements where this naked Minuteman is warming his levitating crotch. Don't mind him. It's called a glitch. G4, I don't know if you're here when I gave the explanation. I used to have a Minuteman armor mod that gave them much prettier than the vanilla Minuteman armor and looked like actual military uniforms, and I think I got rid of that mod entirely because I wasn't doing any Minuteman themed stuff for a long, long time. And now they're all naked, which I think I like it better this way, although it is embarrassing for everybody, including myself. Again, with the challenge of snapping things without Place Everywhere or mods, but this was pretty happy with the what do you call it? Gatehouse? Battlements. And this must have been the last time I used the neon signage, because that crap is just the tackiest. I'm half tempted to just enter the settlement builder and scrap it right now. Naked Castle Minuteman. Anyway, restored these walls for those that didn't see it on the first part of the tour. And the second level is the power generation room. Totally undecorated, but it was built this way to provide some safety to the power generators, so if this place got attacked and I had to travel across the Commonwealth to get here and fight off super mutants or whatever, then they, by the time I got here, might have hopefully not gotten to the power generators to destroy them. So, some safety there. Oh, forgot that. The one bathroom, little outhouse on top of the pile of rubble that's... Anyway, there's nothing over there as far as battlements goes. G4, stop me if you see something that I look at that you haven't seen because you missed, or anybody else for that matter, because I went over it before you joined. Naked Minuteman. Is that that's Ronnie. Pretty sure that's Ronnie. Pretty sure I'm staying the hell away from her. So briefly, this is just a wall-mounted garrison, barracks, octagon of lockers and footlockers and beds, and one little balcony, which can give you a better vantage of the one way that people decide to creep into the castle. Is it me, or does that look like a giant tarberry farm? Oh god, is she following me? Don't do that, G4. She hasn't been following me. Freaking me out, man. Anyway, up here, just guard towers, or guard posts, and munitions and whatnot. You're not Ronnie, are you? Are you Ronnie? Oh, thank God it's not Ronnie. Let's check the armor. We haven't been there yet. Oh, right. Totally had gotten rid of that door. Because it didn't work. Such a satisfying noise. Somehow this door fits perfectly in that doorway, with the help of some concrete. And some errant concrete walls up there. I think this one used to have a Minuteman paint job, but again, it's naked, just like everybody else. Nothing down there. Nothing fancy in here. I think I just built a couple of places to store heavy weapons. I used to have a far more stocked armory, and it didn't look original or good or like an efficient use of space, so I scrapped everything and almost started over, but apparently didn't really start over. Okay, bye. So G4 and folks who didn't see it before, little turret stand. There's another one on the other side. This is going to be a basically a kill room. I think I was going to replace these doors with the electric garage door, and then have it trigger to close behind anybody who entered. At which point this door would also close, and you'd get bombarded with whatever murderous thing came through these windows. And then I forgot about those plans apparently, and just put, you know, goods and services up here so that you can throw wool blankets at them and keep your intruders warm. And same up here. But again, this doesn't suck, because for the time, this current, what the DLC was at the time, and having no mods except for apparently jail cells, snapping all this together was a feat. Still proud of it, but once this video is done, I think I'm gonna scrap the entire damn thing. That's my castle build. Thought it was at least decent enough from back in the day to give it a little airtime before it goes away probably forever and never sees the light of day again, even though it wasn't even finished, but some of it was, and I hope some parts of it were somewhat inspiring for you guys. Like the architecture here, or the big old arboretum, or maybe that thing, the gatehouse. I think the gatehouse is probably one of the cooler things. Or, you know, the naked Minutemen. I think you guys should just go to all of your castle builds currently, right now, and take all of the clothes off your Minutemen. That will keep
Remind them what
your
it's all
stuff
about.
way more. Yeah, remind them what it's all about, as Preston Garvey says. And all the nudists now smell like fish. Rotten, radioactive fish. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else to... God, that is... I'm never going to get over that. That's...
Better than ever.
Better than ever. So bloody suggestive. Alright, and the nudists continue to jump off the roof. Is that... Where are you? Did you jump off? Where is the naked Minuteman that fell off the roof? That's a song nobody needs to hear again.
What we're fighting for.
Naked Minuteman? Naked Minuteman? Where? Did you... I'm not hearing things, right? Y'all heard somebody jump off the roof? I'm not sure, G4. I think there's probably between 1 and 2 dozen. I've had the recruitment beacon off for quite a while. So probably... Actually... Oh, I messed up my field of view, so this is gonna be super tiny. Data. How many people are at the castle? 27. Oh, jeez. I don't know why there's a cow there. It's where our water comes from. Our very, very clean water. Is it me, or does the reflection of this water in the moonlight kind of look like the giant tarberry farm? I think that it didn't even occur to me until right now, until I was up the battlements looking down at all this, that this little body of water is actually just a lake because of that land bridge. I always have mistaken it for the ocean because I'm a dum-dum. And that message is deleted. Thanks for that, Barry. Not. I'm being sarcastic. I'll thank you not to speak like that again. The only person who's allowed to curse and be vulgar like a fucking sailor is me. You bastard. And if you're still not listening to this, then... Or if you are still listening to this, then I know you were not sincere about getting things wet. Yeah, I think when I rebuild the castle, I'm gonna have to make a giant bog full of tarberries and bloodleaf and stuff like that, because, I don't know, this lake should be used, lakely speaking. Anyway, decent castle build, especially considering my first attempt at a castle was awesome, considering there was no DLC out at that point, and it was super scrappy, like everything, and I was super tired of that aesthetic. So, the exception of, the only reason I used wood up on the barracks and Garrison was, I wanted the aesthetic of stone or concrete and wood on the very top, just in terms of looking like a watchtower. Don't know if I pulled it off completely. I think it needs a couple more stories, actually, and I think it's only that tall because of the vanilla build limit. Barry, you are an adult person. Anything else that you guys wanted me to take a closer look at that I might have forgotten? Let me know. Otherwise, this has been my castle. And Barry is banned. Don't be a dick, Barry. Alright, dudes. Thank you for watching. I'm going to keep streaming in another live stream. Actually, I wanted to keep this as its own thing for the archived in my channel purposes. So I'll be seeing y'all again briefly. Kane, sorry. You did this just in time. I don't know if y'all still left or not, but somebody requested that I make it daytime, so I'm gonna make it daytime. Oh, there we go. Daytime. Better. Closer. Or just a brief glimpse of everything. Now you can really see the naked Minutemen. Thank you, lady, for having clothes. One of the things that I always loved about this little arboretum was the thing that is not currently happening because of the current weather, but the god rays that would come through the glass. Yeah, like that. So sexy. So much rendering power. Uno, dude, what are you still doing awake? Ah. Alright, man. This has been the daytime castle. For those of you, including Uno, who just joined us, I'm about to start another live stream. I'm ending this one just so it can be its own video after the fact. So I'll see y'all in a minute. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Look at the sun.